Good evening, beautiful souls. This is Profound of Profound Thinkers Investing the Show. Here back with another episode featuring our special reoccurring guest, Dohn, the short sales specialist. Today, we're going to look at part 2 in the negotiation process of short sales, and we're going to devise a plan for ourselves based upon the information that Dohn shares. Are we more privy to do negotiations and short sales ourselves, or would we outsource that service to an expert like Dohn? We'll learn tonight more information in this episode.
The people that I speak with and that we bring in as clients already have made a decision they want to sell their property. So that decision was made long before we met them. So at that point in time, this is just an annoying bump in the road, speed bump on their way to try to get their house sold. So
Okay.
The last 4 or 5 years, I have not had one client ever even think about trying to do a loan mod. That's not true. Sorry, we had one recently, and we said, okay, let's do it. And then, because we knew we had to do it anyway. And then when she got turned down, I was like, okay, let's do it. That was more of a pipe dream situation. They mostly know they don't have the money for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dohn. So if you thought about a way for this current situation with the economy, how it's going, and you wanted to provide your services for a larger crowd, what would be your recommendation to get that type of feedback from a larger percentage of people out here who need your services?
Well, I'm going to, if you let me digress here a little bit, I'm going to give you a little background about what I was doing before and why I'm making this decision to offer my services more nationally than I was, in the crash from 2006 to 2011. Back then, I was still learning. I was, frankly, it's funny that the older you get, there's wisdom that comes if you're not closed-minded. And when you're younger, you don't think about more or wider horizons of opportunities. Back then, I had my blinders on and I was just thinking, get houses, and do this myself. And that was all I was interested in. And I did not think about the possibility that I could leverage my knowledge. And, I'm making money from houses on my own, but there could be 1,000 other people I could help using my knowledge, and I could leverage that on a wide scale throughout the country. After the economy and the housing market started to stabilize, I realized that was an unfortunate, short-sighted decision that I made back then. And I always told myself that if we ever found ourselves back in a situation where short sales were going to come back in a big way, and that it was, negative equity was going to be the norm as opposed to the exception to the rule, that I said, this time I'm going to be different. And I've been thinking about this for about 6 to 7 months. You could see the signs that were happening, that the economy was slowing down and that we were going to hit a recession. But obviously I didn't think a pandemic was going to happen and that it was going to cause us to go from one of the lowest unemployment rates in the history of our country to 10%, in a space of weeks. Nobody expected that. So that forced me to kickstart my decision making and getting myself ready. But I guess the other reason that I've changed my position from where I was in 2006 and where I am now is that back then I was kind of a lone wolf. I was doing so much of it on my own that in the meantime, because the banks have made it harder to do short sales, I have been forced to adapt to their their changes and their tactics. I have to counteract their tactics. And to do that, you have to have a team. And over the last 3 or 4 years, I have built an amazing team. And I have trained realtors. I have trained some negotiators. I have co-opted some negotiators that, they were also kind of lone wolf type people. And they found that it made much more sense for them to ally themselves with someone who had a marketing structure and a network bringing houses in all the time. So that way they didn't have to worry about marketing themselves to find other realtors or people or investors to negotiate short sales for them. They could just focus on their highest and best use, which is negotiating, and let me worry about letting my marketing side bring deals. So so we had a meeting this weekend, obviously telemarketing or through Zoom, because no one wants to get together anymore during the pandemic. But I posed a question to them and I said, look, we have a unique opportunity here to take this national. My question is, can we handle the volume? What can we do if all of a sudden we get 100, 200, 300, 500 times more short sales? Can we get the value? Can we keep up with the volume? And I tell you what, within 3 days, we came back and we said, you know what, this is definitely doable. And it's not only doable, we're going to do it. Because, the thing is that we are not going to do everything ourselves. What we are going to do is invite realtors to come on to our team and come into under our umbrella, as it were, and we are going to train them on how we do our short sales. We're not asking them to negotiate. We're just saying we have a specific plan that we do from when we get the listing until you get it under contract and we submit the file to the mortgage company. From there on, we do that. But you follow these steps, and we've tried to make it idiot proof. No offense to people who are idiots, but it requires a lot of discipline and it requires a lot of consistency.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, beautiful people. This is Profound of Profound Thinkers Investing the Show, here to bring you a wisdom's corner after such a wonderful interview with Dohn, the short sales specialist here on Profound Thinkers Investing the Show. We're going to reflect on what we learned today as we look at what Dohn shared with us. In 20 years that Dohn has been in short sales or real estate investing overall, he has only had one client seek to do a loan modification over a short sale. Dohn further reflected on the wisdom he has gained from the crisis of 2006 crash and how he now can leverage his time with his knowledge he gained. And that feels so good that he's able to see how he can help people when short sales are coming back in a big way, according to Dohn. Dohn further speaks to the importance of adaptation and the importance of working on building a powerful team. He speaks to allying ourselves with teams that already have marketing strategies in place. This was a powerful recommendation made by Dohn. So we thank you for joining us once again on the show, Profound Thinkers Investing, as well as Wisdom's Corner. And we welcome you to come back again. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.